Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Cheryl and I've missed you. We're going to start a new series and it's going to be Superheroes. Superheroes Sunday. And I hope you all can join me at home as we learn about real superheroes. Now let me put on my glasses. There. We are going to learn about kings that carry scepters like this. Do you see that? And real crowns and castles that happened in the Bible. Not Anna and Elsa, not Cinderella, but real superheroes that have superpowers from God. Tonight we're going to learn about somebody that went up against this very true, real giant. Not Jack and the Beanstalk giant, but this guy, Goliath. So watch and you'll see a lot of fun things. Mr. David is making a real life-size Goliath right now. And I have some helpers that are helping us with our story, take part in our story tonight, Thatcher and Thane. And we're going to have a fun Father's Day superhero lesson. I wanted to know if any of you know who this is. Yeah, some of you know it's Hulk. Do any of you know Captain America? What about Thor or Black Panther? Do you know those characters? Some of you may. Are any of them real? No, none of those are real. Those are pretend stories. They didn't really happen. So the important thing about Bible class is we get to learn the true stories that are in the B-I-B-L-E. And that's the word Bible. Miss Cheryl's very, very happy that you joined us, and we're going to learn about several superheroes through the rest of the summer, and I can hardly wait to get started. You see all of these mommies and daddies? They help their children learn about God. They're taking time to teach them stories. They're taking their children to church. You see in that car, there are two little babies. I don't know if you can see down in there. There's a brother and a sister in the back seat. And they're going to church. They're going to learn about God today. They're not going to movies to watch about superheroes. They're going to Bible class to learn about the real superheroes that we're going to talk about. And today is a special day for fathers. So be sure to give your daddies an extra special hug today. And say, thank you, Daddy, for helping me learn about God and for taking me to church. Today's story is found in the Bible in 1 Samuel 17. That's 1 and a 7. That makes 17. And maybe your mommies and daddies can find that and help teach you a few more stories that are around the story today. Do you see my shepherd boy right there? Do you see him? Does he look like a superhero? Well, he's a shepherd. And this boy, his name is David. Have you heard of him before? He had 8 brothers. That's a lot of brothers, isn't it? My sister had 7 boys, and she had to get a great big car so they could all ride together. It's a lot of cooking to do for 7 boys, isn't it? And then she also had 3 girls. Her name is Matilda. That's my sister. But David, he had 8 brothers. And he had a very special job. He looked after his father's sheep. And some days he would take them all to drink over here in the creek. Do you see that little creek right there? And he would sit down and play his harp while they got little drinks of the water. And some of the songs that David wrote on his harp talk about the Lord is my shepherd. And there's some beautiful songs that David wrote. He played a harp and he sat outside in the green grass and looked at the clouds and thought about God. And some days he would let the sheep come over and get some green grass. You see those lambs? They all have to be going together so he could watch after them. Let's get them all going to the green grass now. And they're going to eat some grass. There they go. And David has to watch. He can sit near, but he has to keep good watch for them. He doesn't want them to get in the water. But look what's coming around the side here. Do you see something coming around here? What is that? Is that a lion? And David has to say, go away, lion. Shoo, get away. He might even pick up a rock out of the creek right here and say, get away, lion. Get away, lion. Miss Cheryl missed. Get away, lion. And some days, a mean old bear might come out to get one of his lambs. Do you see that mean old bear? That's a very scary tooth. Look at that. And David has to watch carefully because a bear tried to eat his little lamb. But David knew what to do. He threw a rock and he killed the bear. That's pretty brave. David is brave to try to kill a lion and a bear. They look kind of scary, don't they? But David was brave. He had a lot of courage, and God helped him to take care of his sheep. So this is David's harp that he used to play. The shiny gold harp, do you see that? And he would sit out and sing to God. Well, one day, David's father, whose name was Jesse, said, I have a job for you. Leave the sheep. You can get somebody else to take care of our sheep this day, and I need you to do me a special job. I have an errand for you to run. I want you to put your harp down. I want you to take food to your brothers. 3 of David's brothers were fighting in a war, a real battle. And so David said, okay, I will obey. And he took bread and corn and cheese to his brothers. He had to walk a long way. But when he got there, he heard something. Let's put him right here. He's right around the creek. He heard some sound that was a little bit scary. This is God's army right here. You see the little tents? We'll put them on this hill, and we'll put the Philistines in these tents way over here. So the battle hadn't really started, but he heard something loud, and it was a great big giant named Goliath. And Goliath said, who will come and fight me? Can you say that? You can put your hands like this and say, who will come and fight me? And this was not on God's army at all. He was on the other army team. He was on the Philistines. So let's put him way over here. And let's put the Philistine army. Look, they don't look very nice at all. They're sticking out their tongues, and they're pointing and making fun of God's army. And they say, we're going to win because we have the biggest giant. So let's put them over here. Look, that giant is twice as big as those men. And Mr. David is going to make a giant today for you to show you how tall Goliath is. So keep watching, okay? Mr. David's going to work on that this afternoon. And here's God's army. Oh my goodness. They don't look very brave at all. They look scared. They don't want to go fight the giant. And the giant keeps saying every morning and every night, he keeps saying, who will come and fight me? Choose one of your people to fight me, and whoever wins the whole battle. Let's put this one way over here on God's army. And when David got there, he said, what? What's going on? What? You're not fighting Goliath? Why are you being so scared? This is supposed to be God's team over here. The battle belongs to the Lord. Are you saying to all of my 3 brothers, none of you will fight Goliath? And they said, shh, you're making us look silly. I know you're just acting brave. And David said, no, it's not me. We're supposed to be brave because of God. And so this little bitty boy right here decided, I can do it. I will be the one. I have faith and I have courage. I will fight Goliath. And so he went to the king. And he said, King Saul, what are you going to give me if I win and I fight Goliath? What do you plan to do for me? And King Saul said, I will give you money. I will let you marry my daughter. He had all kinds of good things for little boy David. And so David said, okay, I'll do it. I will be the one who fights. And King Saul said, now wait a minute. Do you know that Goliath has a helmet on his head? You don't have a helmet on your head. Do you know that Goliath has a body of armor that's really strong so nobody can kill him? And he's carrying a big spear. He said, I want you to wear, King Saul said, David, I want you to wear my armor. So David put it on, and he said, what? He couldn't walk. He said, this is just too heavy. I can't even walk in this. I'm not used to this. Look at the helmet. It looks like you can't even see through the helmet. It looks ridiculous. So King Saul said, okay, but I think you should have worn it. And David said, God will be with me. So David did something really strange. Do you know what he did? He walked down to the creek right here, and he picked up 5 smooth stones. Do you remember how he used to kill the bear and the lion? He picked up 5 little rocks. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he put them down into his little shepherd's pouch. Let's put them down in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he tied them up. And Goliath was like, wait a minute. What is he doing at the creek? He doesn't even have on any armor. Are they trying to make fun of me? Do they think I'm just a little puppy dog and he's going to throw a stick at me? This is not right. I am a giant. I have been fighting since I was a little boy. This little boy cannot beat me. I am a battle hero. Stay up there, Goliath. So, David reached down in his little bag and he got out one little rock. Do you see that? And he slung the slingshot round and round and round and round, just like that. And the rock went kapoo right in the Goliath's head right here. And Goliath, oh my goodness, he came falling down on his face, smash right on the ground, just like that. And you know what David did? He walked right up to the army. He stood on top of Goliath and he cut his head off. And he said, we won. The battle belongs to the Lord. It's not because of me. I came against you with a rock, but the real person who was behind me was God. Now guess what happened then? I wish I could have been there to see this. Then God's armies, all of the army got brave. Of course, now they're brave. And they decided to do something crazy. They ran across the hill and they tried to beat the Philistines. The Philistines ran away. And guess who won? God's army won. God's army wins all the time. So we want to be on the side of God, don't we? That's a crazy kind of a story. What do you think David heard when he walked up with his food for the brothers? Do you think he heard Goliath say, who will come and fight me? The Bible says he heard battle cries. What is a battle cry? Do you think the Philistines were saying, go Goliath, go Goliath? I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have heard what they said. Did they say, na 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 na, we're going to beat you? That would have been so great to then watch Israel, the army of God, finally win. And it only took one little rock and a lot of faith in God to make God's army win. And they fought and they chased them off. And that's the end of the story. That's one of my favorite stories in the Bible. And it's true. So you can get out your little Bible storybooks at home and you can find the picture of the big mean giant and just know that David and God killed him with one little rock to the head, made a big owie, and the giant came tumbling down, smash. Boys and girls, I wanted to tell you one of my good memories about my daddy. And one of the things my daddy used to do was make popcorn. And he didn't use a microwave popcorn. He used the real corn like this that we grew on the farm. And we would shuck it off of the corn and he would use it like this. Let me show you how he did it. He just used a pan like this and he would pour in some popcorn, like a cup of popcorn. You see that? And he would wait on it. He would wait for it to get hot, and while he did that, he would melt the butter, I'll do it in my microwave since I've got one. And then he would start to shake it. And he would open the lid every now and then like that. Just check on it. What kind of fun things do you do with your dads at home? Are you making memories with them? That looks yummy. All buttery. You see that? It's all melted. My daddy was also a song leader. So at church, he would carry one of these little things. Do you see that? And right before the song would start after the sermon, he would do this. And then he would open up his songbook. We used to sing out of a book that looks like this. Long ago. See how old it is? He would open it up and he would start any song that would be like Just As I Am. Look at that one. It says, Jesus is our loving shepherd. That talks about the things we talked about today. Oh, I hear our popcorn popping. Gotta give it a little bit of air. We don't ever want to pop popcorn by ourselves, but my daddy used to let me watch him pop it. My daddy carried something like this too. Does that look like a shepherd's bag? I'll show you what's in there. You see this? That was what was in the bag. It's called a tuning fork, and he would hit it on his knuckle and put it on the songbook. You hear that? And that's how he would know the song to start on. He loved to sing. Pop it. Goodness. This is going to be good. Can you see it? It's going to pop out of there. Did you see that? Woo, there it came. Let me shake it up a little bit. We're making a mess. You hear that? Woo, that's the most I think I've ever made. It's still going. Do you hear that? That's a beautiful corn, popper full of corn. Put a little sauce on it. And a little butter. Ooh, that looks delicious. A little more salt. Now I'm going to scoop some out in this popcorn box that says pop on it. Do you see that? It says pop. P-O-P spells pop, like popcorn. Now, do you know why my daddy popped popcorn? Can you guess? He did it because we were about to have a devotional. And he would give all of my brother, I have one brother and 3 sisters. There are 5 of us. He would give us all some popcorn. And we would sit down. And we would have a devotional. My mama would read us out of the Bible story book with pictures. See how old it is? That was when Miss Cheryl was very little. And I remember one night when a very special thing happened. We made it to the end of the Old Testament. Right here. We were so excited. We went all the way from the Old Testament and we were ready to start the New Testament. All the stories about Jesus. And I remember that from when I was 6 years old. My daddy would either get us lemon drops or make popcorn, and my mama would read us the stories, and she told them like they were her friends. And I got to love those people in the Bible, the superheroes like Esther, and she called it Esther, but we call it Esther today. But she's going to help me tell one of those stories soon to you, and I can't wait to share that with you. And I hope all of you daddies out there are making special memories. My daddy did this popcorn devotional thing mostly when he was in grad school, and all before the age when I would say 6 or 7. And all those smells and memories stay with you forever. Happy Father's Day. Thatcher and Thane came over today. They're salting their popcorn, having a little superhero snack. What's this one right here, guy? What is that?
Miles.
Do you know?
No, Miles. Or Venom.
What is yours, that Thane? Let me see what yours is. On this side it says DC. What is yours?
Batman.
Batman? And what snacks are you eating, guys? They're eating superhero snacks.
I want this to be a Goliath, actually.
Okay, can you knock Goliath over thing with a stone?
Where's the stone? Ding! Oh!
How can you make him land on his face?
Oh. How about he got hit in the head?
Legs are silly.
I am mother Jew.
Here comes a stone through the air. Round and round and round and round. Wow.
I thought he got hit in the front of the head.
Got hit in the forehead, you're right. Did it take 10 stones to kill Goliath?
No. It
How
took
many?
1.
Mercy.
Cut off your head. Cut.
Do you think you would be brave enough to fight Goliath thing? If you had a rock and a slingshot?
Probably.
1 Samuel 17:45. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied."
Are you glad that you bought this?
I am. I'm glad that we kept it long enough for...
Psalm 23:1 and 3b. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
Gonna be in the middle of all that. While everybody else is watching. Oops.
What you making, Thatch?
A heart?
What color rubber bands are you picking, Thing?
He's picking the primary colors like me.
Stretch it around like Thatcher's doing. Good job, Thing. Trying to make it fit in the slot. Ooh, that's starting to sound like a harp. Thatcher, you're doing a lot of rubber bands.
I know.
Good job, Thing.
So many rubber bands.
Can you play it? pretty.
I think it needs to be tuned.
Can you play yours thing?
Lord is my shepherd, I'll walk with him always. He leads through green pastures, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always. Always, always, I'll walk with him always.
It actually sounds a little bit better, but it still needs to be pretty tuned.
Lord is my shepherd, I'll walk with him always. He leads through green pastures, I'll walk with him
Good job, bud.
always.
Good job. Let me see it.
Always, always,
Hold it real still.
I'll walk with him always.
That's great, buddy.
Always, always, I'll walk with him always.
Okay, see if you can put that armor on Thatcher. Help him get it on. So heavy. Put it on and see if you can do it one more time. Put it on your head, little David. So ridiculously heavy. Whoa, it is heavy. How can you even walk in it? It's backwards, isn't it? Turn it around so the black part's on your face. Oh, that's even better. Now trip. So Saul, you take back your armor.